Tyler, can you introduce yourself for everyone?
Hey, my name is Tyler. I'm an incoming freshman, and I chose to work with Cam because I was in a funk and needed to change it up, and he's really helped me.
Appreciate that. What was your goal when you were starting to work with me? Like, why work with me?
It was recovery from an injury, but it turned into me getting stronger and performing way better than I ever have before.
And then for Serena, as Tyler's mom, what were you looking for in the physical therapist for him?
My name is Serena, and I'm Tyler's mom. And I was really looking for a physical therapist that would understand him, his body, his needs, his road to recovery, and how to help him prevent future injuries or to be more mindful of how to use his body to keep him healthy and be able to play baseball.
So, Tyler, what challenges were you facing with your body or baseball prior to working with me? So, before you were working with me, you obviously found me because you were struggling with something. What was
Yeah,
that?
I was struggling a lot with just kind of like stability and mobility on the field. And, like even strength wise, like definitely could have been much better at the time. And working with you, I mean, for the past couple of years has really improved my strength and stability and made me into like a way better player than I could ever have hoped for.
And then I'm not too sure because, you and I don't talk too much about this because I feel like we always have a good time. Before working with me, with you knowing where you were with your body and with baseball, was that causing you any stress or anxiety, or were you just like, hey, this is what it is?
It was causing me a lot more stress, like kind of even almost like being too worried before going into games and like being worried that my stability and strength weren't there and I was going to underperform to what I thought I could do. So, like, I mean, just getting stronger and developing all the skills with you has made me way more confident going into games and performing.
Awesome. Thank you, dude. This is kind of a question for both of you. You guys can answer however you wish. Maybe Serena goes first. In terms of finding me, how did you guys find me?
You were a referral to us from someone else who had worked with you and had tremendous success and felt like you were different than any other physical therapist that had been worked with in the past.
Got it. So you found me through another human being. Did you ever have any doubts working with me?
I think in the beginning, I was like a little bit worried about because where I'd gone previously for physical therapy, I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't be developing any more skills. But as time started to like go on and continuing to work with you, I realized that holy, I'm getting like way stronger and way bigger and more mobile than I ever was at where I was previously.
And then Serena, as his parent, what concerns did you have before working with me? Obviously, you were referred by somebody with positive comments, but did you have any concerns before meeting me and working with me?
I think whenever you start with a new professional, you're hoping that it's a good fit and a good match. And I think we were looking for something really different for Tyler because he was continuing to do the same things that were causing injury. And we wanted to get him out of that pattern. And we were really hoping for a different approach. I don't think I was concerned as much as I was hopeful of can we look at things a different way? And I think from the first moment we met you, and I can still remember the meeting that we had, your approach, how you look at things was so different and so refreshing that we felt hope in a way that we hadn't felt for a while because he had just been habitually kind of doing some of the same things. And we were wondering, when is this going to change? And I felt hope for the first time. So I wasn't concerned as much as I was, honestly, from the first session, hopeful.
I did not know that until now. I appreciate that. Tyler, once you started with me, what were the first things we worked on?
The first things we worked on were it was improving and recovering from knee injury. And then we were kind of just working on getting my knee back to being healthy, strong, and stable again. And then we started to later on, after we recovered and did all the injury work, we kind of started getting into some prehab work and really working on more strong everywhere, preventing injuries and becoming a lot more sound on the body.
You and I talked about this a lot. How is it different from other PTs that you worked with?
Other PTs that I've worked with in the past, it's been more like, I mean, they just kind of throw you into something that they don't have 100% a clue what they're throwing you into. It's not like really helping. If anything, it's probably hurting you more. It's not really recovering. It's just injuring you further.
Yeah, because I know we've talked about the strength training part of things and how you would spend a lot of time, but you never got stronger. Like right now,
Yeah.
I'm down from working out with our program and I'm sore. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, I'm pretty sore too. I mean, another thing is like since coming to you, it's been like stability is like as important, if not more important than strength. Whereas before, I thought strength was like the only thing I needed to do. I thought I only needed to lift 500 pounds for 3 reps, and that's how I stayed in shape for baseball.
Yeah, just to be honest, we went heavy, but we haven't like
Yeah.
gym.
Yeah, I mean, like we're not like out, like we're not benching like 500 pounds. We're doing band work. We're keeping everything stretched. I mean, shoot, even at the end of the day, we do a painful 7 minutes of core.
I want to also throw in, though, Tyler, I think your past PT experiences have been more cookie cutter, meaning that everybody does this routine.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your unique sort of assets or strengths or skills are. So I didn't find that anything was changing for you. Behaviors weren't changing for you. You weren't.
I mean, it's like your schedule was almost like just put onto a sheet of paper, and then you have to kind of go by that.
Well, and I didn't think you were learning the things you needed to learn to avoid injury in the future or to do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself. I feel like you've had amazing, like customized behavioral modifications that have happened as a result of working with Cam, where you look at your body differently, you show up on the field differently, your pre-work is different, you are much more mindful about how you take care of your body. And that has been fully customized by Cam in a way that I've never seen another physical therapist do.
With all of that, that was a more strengthening and gym work. How much better have you gotten as a catcher and a hitter? Home runs, at velo, pop times, all that kind of stuff. Like, can you put any of this in terms of those words?
I've been acknowledged by a lot of coaches that skill-wise now, like at a pro level and playing and practicing at a pro level, it's been a massive help. I mean, even like going back to like now I actually have like a pre-workout band routine so I don't get injured on the field, whereas before I was probably doing 5-10 minutes of bands, and now I'm doing probably 20-30 minutes before a game.
Also, Tyler, your exit velocity has stayed higher and more consistent. Like
exit velocity stayed higher. I mean, home runs have kind of shot up. Like I've just kind of started to be way more consistent hitting, like way more consistent power hitter too. And then catching, like mobility wise, like I can move way more freely.
And even at first base.
First base too. I've been starting to get acknowledged as like a really mobile first baseman.
And also, can I throw in, Tyler, that you just recently you ran the 60-yard dash, right? A timed 60-yard dash.
6'9", 60.
Yeah, got like kudos for the first time for the speed that had not been there in the same way before.
What's cool about that is we actually haven't really did sprinting work, but the program has made him faster. We've done other things to get better at running. So it's kind of cool. Serena, that you kind of answered the question, but like, have you seen anything in Tyler's skills on the field? Have you noticed a difference from before and now?
Absolutely. He used to get teased and called baby giraffe because he was sort of like all over the place, and he has gotten more grounded in his strength. He has gotten much more in tune with his body. I think he's also gotten much more control, which I think, to be honest with you, the control is probably harder than the strength piece of it. In other words, it's easy and natural for him to just be able to do things quickly and fast, but it's another thing to slow it down and be controlled when he needs to be. And that's a skill that I've seen completely shift in his work with you, where he's able to slow himself down a bit and really be intentional with what he's doing. And when you have the strength level that he does, I think that is a really key skill to have, to be able to slow your body down too. And that's something he did not have prior to coming to you.
And I know sometimes you talk about the game, you want to be a perfectionist, Ty. With the work that you've done, do you feel any less stress about the future in college and possibly pro baseball?
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's definitely a lot less stress than I like used to have, for sure, in terms of like college doesn't look like as bad anymore. And like it's not like it's the end of the world going away and all that. And like just playing is not like, it's not gonna like end my career if I don't do well in one college game.
And then Serena, how has working with me affected like your family?
You know, I think that the work that you do, Cam, I almost think that the word physical therapist is kind of hinders the complete job title of what you do, because you are so many things to Tyler. Obviously, you have the knowledge and the training to really help him skyrocket in terms of what kind of a baseball player he becomes, or that he is today. I think that you also have been a mentor to him, which has been really critical in helping him understand how to navigate that transition from high school to college and all the feelings that go with that. It's not as though you finish one day when you're in high school and the next day everything's ready. The mental piece of it, you've helped him with the mental game, not just his strength on the field, but how to take care of himself in the interim, how to take care of himself when he's not with you. You've empowered him to know what to do. You haven't just fished for him, you've taught him how to fish for himself too, so that way he knows how to take care of himself. It's far more than physical therapy. It is, like I said, it's mentorship, it's advisement, it's coaching, it's a whole lot of things. And so Tyler, I don't think would be where he's at today without your support.
Mic drop. Tyler, if you can like keep it short to like one sentence, what would be this thing you gained from working with me compared to other people?
I would say that you've become like a brother and like a big mentor to me. I would say for sure is the biggest thing I've taken away.
For you, Mom, Serena, what do you appreciate most about the structure I provide and the daily feedback I always give Ty?
I feel like you've provided a structure and a framework for Tyler to be his best self in life and on the field. And I think that it's mind, body. I mean, obviously there's the physical physical elements, but you provide a framework to say you can be the best on the field, you can be the best in life. You've given tools to help our family and to help Tyler, because not only are you there for Tyler, but I feel like I use you as a resource to navigate this whole process of baseball. And so I feel like you've provided a really critical framework for Tyler to move successfully forward into college baseball, because it's not an easy journey. It's an exciting journey, but not always an easy journey. And you've provided it not just for Tyler, but for the whole family.
Tyler, obviously, based on this Zoom, I know you would recommend me, but who would you recommend me to, and why would you recommend me to that person?
Well, I don't think I'd just recommend you to like one person in particular. I think I'd recommend you to like anybody. Like, I mean, I try to like even tell people like when they have arm injuries and don't believe they need help, those are some of the people I try to recommend to you, because those are probably some of the people who need help the most. I mean, I think every baseball player really needs to have like this set like program of getting stronger and staying in good health, or else, I mean, you're not going to perform very long.
And that's the hardest thing I have, is trying to tell everyone that they need that, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, like the same thing, like I've started to even tell teammates who I play with, like they ask me why I'm so good at what I do. It's because I take care of my body.
That's like a brief sentence of taking care of your body, but like some people don't really know what that truly means. And now you've gone through it week after week after week.
Yeah, you're stretching, you're lifting, it's everything. I mean, you're taking 30 minutes, 40 minutes just to get your body loose before you actually go and lift. And then you're lifting, and then after that lift, you're cooling down with something. You're not going full throttle and then immediately letting off the gas.
You had to throw the car analogy in there.
I did.
I want to add to that, though, and say that I don't think it's a matter of who we would recommend you to. Every baseball player should come in and do this work with you. And I think when you look at baseball, you can't look at it as I need someone to help me when I'm injured. You have to look at it just like Tyler said, how do I keep my body healthy at all times? I think every baseball player is missing the boat if they're not coming in and working with you and doing this kind of total program, because this is helping Tyler to avoid injury in the future. This is helping him to be successful on the field. This is helping him to have the strength he needs to perform at levels that I don't even think he has tapped everything in his bucket. There's more that he has to go. If you want to be successful as a baseball player, this is the kind of work you have to do. Just working out on your own or thinking that you can get away with this kind of support only when you're injured is really looking a short-term vision when you want to look at the long run of what baseball is. So I think everyone needs this kind of support.
And then in terms of like parents, would you recommend me to other parents?
Absolutely, 100%. Anytime I have the opportunity to, I definitely recommend you to other parents. And I recommend you because you're not just there for Tyler, but you're there for us as parents to help us understand how to support Tyler and to help us even understand and navigate the world of college baseball and baseball in general, which is not an easy place to navigate.
Like I said, in person, everyone usually can trust me based on the feedback I can provide them immediately. And then they see that there's a room that they can go into, and that usually opens their eyes to wanting to work with me further. But for somebody who's, let's say, hesitant in person or hesitant online to work with me virtually, what would you say to them if they were hesitant?
I'm here talking about Cam today because I want to talk about Cam, not because I'm being asked to or forced to. I really do want to talk about Cam. As a parent, he cares about your kid in ways that you want a professional to care about your kid. And I think that is by far such an important piece as a parent that we want for our children. And so I would recommend as a parent that you come in and see Cam and really get to know him. But the moment you meet him, I'm telling you, it took no more than 15 minutes in session 1 for me to know Cam is the real deal. And this is who our son needs to go to. And so I highly encourage you to come because you're going to see the way professionals should be and what you ultimately want for your child through Cam.